Hi there, this is Rochelle for Healthy Aligned Living. I'm joined here by Mr. Cheeto. If you can see, he'll make appearances throughout the stream. So, yeah, I'm just here today. I made a coffee. I'm just talking about spirituality and mental health. And so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Rochelle. I grew up on Treaty 6 territory and I lived my adult life on the west coast on Snuneymuxw and Namgis territory. And so I don't really know if I'm a prairie girl because of where I grew up or if I'm a coastal girl um, because of where I lived as an adult. So, yeah, today I just wanted to share my thoughts about mental health and spirituality. And I started this journey really for kind of diving into my own life when I was in Australia. I had gone there when I was 20 and traveling around, bebop, doing my thing. And I encountered some hard times. I felt like I really had hit rock bottom. And so, I guess maybe while I'm sharing and talking, I'm going to do some coloring. I have a few coloring books here to choose from. I have this Uni Creatures, so it's all different types of unicorns. Oh, look, they're pretty cute. So maybe something from there. I have a coloring book for mandalas. I've started in this one, but sometimes it's really I find it complicated doing coloring books that aren't for kids. I prefer kids coloring books. And then my sister gifted me this one. It's a tarot coloring book. So maybe I'll work on something from here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? It might be fun to pull a tarot card and see which one we get, and then maybe I'll color the tarot card that we get. Now that's an idea. Okay. So my name is Rochelle, and I'm here for Healthy Aligned Living. I'm gonna pull some tarot cards. I'll show you the deck that I use. It's this one called the Modern Witch. And the cards are so lovely. They're my favorite color of blue, which is this kind of baby blue. Baby blue. Okay. So I think everyone has their own practice of how they shuffle cards, how they pull cards. For me, my practice is I always like to spend a moment with the cards and just like ground myself, take a few deep breaths. Anything that kind of connects you and it kind of centers you, brings your energy to your core. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, the cat's doing weird things. So I'm just gonna, and then when I'm shuffling, I ask a question. So maybe I'll just say, okay, what's my typical question is like, what's the message for me today? What do I need to know to help myself on my journey? So I got my cards here, and then I just shuffle them, and then sometimes they fly out like that. So we're gonna see what this one is. Oh, awesome. Okay, it's the Queen of Wands. I'm learning all about tarot now. And so we see that she's got this nice sunflower and this cute black cat. And I think wands, I'm going to look in my book here. So I'm still learning. I have this fascination with tarot, and the deck that I use is like the modern version of the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And so I'm going to look in this book here, Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot by Sky Alexander. And so in this one, we'll be able to find out a little bit more about what the Queen of Wands has in store for us. So the Queen of Wands, my guess. Okay, Six of Wands, we got the Ten of Wands. Oh, the Queen of Wands must be at the beginning. Sorry, guys, I'll just be one more second here. So the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to show you the picture again. Show you, this is the tarot card that was chosen or came out today, is Queen of Wands. So keywords are creativity, passion, prosperity, fruitfulness, and generosity. Oh, prosperity is one of my words that I cling to. It really holds a special place in my heart. Because on my travels, when I went to a place called Rarotonga, which is in between Hawaii and New Zealand, I got a tattoo. And it was by this guy. His name is T. You go to T Tattoo when you're on Rarotonga. And so the tattooist, you talk to him about your life, about where you're headed, what you've been through, and all these different things. And he designs the tattoo based on what you say. So the tattoo that he designed for me symbolizes prosperity. And so that just for me really holds, that word holds like a really special place in my heart. Because, in times of struggle, in times of, in times of just questioning everything, just wonder what's this life for? And I just hold that word in my mind, prosperity. Things are going to be so good for me sometime with abundance. And yeah, so our keywords for the Queen of Wands are creativity, passion, prosperity, fruitfulness, and generosity. I like that word, generosity, too. So the Queen of Wands gives us a thumbs up. This card signifies a figure who commands respect. I like that. Whether she's in the boardroom or at home. Oh my gosh, this is a funny story for me, because when I was in university, I went to a conference and I was running a little bit behind. We had stopped and got coffees and just made our way there. Oh yeah, okay, you want to see the cards? I'll do my best. This is my first time streaming, so I will see what I can do here to show you the cards. I'll show you again. This is the one that popped up, Queen of Wands. Thanks for the feedback. I'll try and figure out a different setup so you can see my hands maybe next time too. So we'll pull another card. And so sometimes you can do like a 3-card, like past, present, future, or there's different ways to set up the cards. And so the next card, I'll pull another one here. We'll go down and we'll see. Okay, creator, spirit, angels, spirit guides. Oh, there's another one. Okay, this one. Oh, Knight of Cups. So when we're talking about a Knight of Cups, this means something in motion, and they're bringing forth. Cups is also has to do with emotions, I think, as well. So we have someone on their horse, moving forward, kind of, and also it seems like maybe this person is offering something. This is just what I'm feeling. Maybe we should read a little bit about it and see what else it means. But we also see a river. There's a river kind of coming down through here too. And I've been told that with tarot, like a lot of it is your intuition and what messages you feel coming forth from what your guides are telling you. I don't think there's someone who reads tarot the same way. So I'm going to pull up my trusty book here, the Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot by Sky Alexander. And now I'm looking for the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, what do you have in store for us? And for me, how I use tarot is just, it's another way of looking at things. It's another way, a new perspective. in my healing journey, there have been so many times where I'm just like, what do I do? You feel like you're at a crossroads. And often I will pull a card just to see what the cards have to say, what way I can look at my situation differently, or what, and it surprises me so many times. So my favorite number is 8, or 17, basically any number that adds up to 8. So here I found the Knight of Cups. We have the keywords are communication, romance, travel, idealism, and flirtatiousness. Okay. So what this card also means, it says it can indicate change and or travel, perhaps a vacation with a lover. Whoa. Usually the change is a pleasant one. It can also mean receiving an offer or invitation that sounds exciting. I'm just kind of skimming this and reading the highlights. A knight can represent a bold venture, but not a practical one. I think that's okay. I think it's okay. Like, life's all about, not always following the rules or being, the practical. Sometimes it's following your heart and just what feels good. So this is the other one that came up. So far we have Queen of Wands. Sorry, I'm getting used to the camera flip. Queen of Wands and Knight of Cups. So here we go. This way. And so I think we'll pull another one. I think 3 is a good number. So, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee here. I love these cups. I found it at Winners. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card. And we'll see. We'll see what... Whoops. Okay. Okay, Creator, Spirit Guides, Angels, Ancestors. What's another message for today? What's another card that'll bring a message for someone? What do they need to hear? So we'll see what happens, what kind of card comes up, and then I'll color one of the cards, see if in my coloring book it has its space open. Oh, I think this one kind of wanted to come out. Oh, the World. Okay, we got the World card. There's 2 infinity symbols, one up top here and one at the bottom. The World. Okay. So we got the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the World. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what the World means. It's a major arcana card. So in tarot, you have major arcana and minor arcana. And I will tell you what the World card means. If I can find it. Steps. I have all these, I get books of like reading tarot and stuff like that. I recently went to the library because I thought that would be a good place to start instead of buying a bunch of books. So I've been taking a few out of the library, and it's been really nice. I'm really enjoying tarot, so I'm just trying to find. Oh, here we go. Now I'm in the major arcana. So we're looking for the World card. We're looking for the World card. This should be any time. Oh, we see the Tower. Everyone's fearful of the Tower card, but sometimes, Tower moments are the moments that give you the greatest release. Okay, so here we go. We got the World card. The keywords are fulfillment, completion, achievement, mastery, and wholeness. Oh, that's a nice card. The World represents the end of the Fool's journey. So I want to talk about like the Fool's Journey in tarot. It's like the way the cards line up and the journey through the cards is called the Fool's Journey, but I don't know enough about it to really teach about it. So I'm just gonna zip my lips, and once I know more, maybe I can talk about it some more in another stream. So this card, it talks about you've trekked down an arduous path of awakening and finally reached your destination. The World card shows a young woman, sometimes nude, holding a double-edged wand that points both upward and downward. And it symbolizes as above, so below. And I think that really means that, like, the physical realm and the spiritual realm aren't separate. The woman is encircled by a wreath signifying victory, bound at the top and bottom by ribbons that call to mind the infinity symbol. So yeah, we draw attention to the infinity symbol at the top and the bottom of the wreath. She's dancing, and one truly lives only when one dances. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Oh yeah, the 4 figures in the 4 corners signify the 4 elements. The world represents fulfillment. All is right in the world. You've faced your dark side and honored your beauty. Considered a congratulations card. So how cool? How cool is that? For if we were to say we did a past, present, future, our future, this is the world completion. So the deck of cards, I'll show you. This one is what I'm using is the Modern Witch. It's based off the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. And so this is the little pocket guide that comes with it. I know this image is kind of creeps me out a little bit, but it's okay. All is well. That actually comes with a little extra card here that says everything is fine. Everything is fine. Okay, so we got the World, the Knight of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Let's see what we have in my tarot coloring book that I can color. So the Magician, let's see. Fortune, Justice. I have a feeling that I'll be able to color the World. I'm getting closer. I can feel I'm getting closer to the World. Oh, hey, look, I already started it. So in this book, it shows up as a tree with really big moths on it. So, in this book, it also gives like some information on what each card means. So it says, the receiver may be relishing a sense of accomplishment for a job well done. This card invites reflection on past achievements and encourages a spirit of gratitude for the rewards this brings. The World is sometimes a precursor to a period of travel. Oh, is anyone out there wanting to travel? I do. Always. Always. I really thought I went traveling. So I'm in my 30s now. So the last time I went overseas was in my 20s, so almost over 10 years ago. And I thought that once I came back to Canada, that I would be gone as soon as I could save up to go away again. But as we know, life happens. I chose to go to university, and okay, which markers? I'm gonna use these ones. I got these little Sharpie markers. One thing, okay, I'll be honest. I'm a neurodivergent or neurospicy, whatever you want to call it, and I jump back and forth from topics to so follow me as best you can. No dramas if I don't make sense. Oh, I can hear the cat meowing. Okay, so I'm going to finish. I'm going to talk to you while I'm coloring and just share what comes to mind. I'm going to work on this this coloring page here, the world. Whew, I'm getting warm. Okay, so I started off with my leaves kind of like a minty color. It doesn't really look that natural, but that's okay. I'm going to do the world in a nice navy blue. Nice navy blue. Actually, I'm feeling called. Has anyone read this book, Embers? This was one of my favorite authors in university. We read another one of his books called Indian Horse. I'm still learning how to pronounce the last name, Richard Wagamese or Richard Wagamese. So I've got to learn how to pronounce it properly. But maybe I'll read us a passage from this book. Okay, it says, love is not always the perfection of moments or the sum of all the shining days. Sometimes it's to drift apart, to be broken, to be dissembled by life and living, but always to come back together and be each other's glue again. Love is an act of life, and we are made more by the living. Wow. Yeah, this book, Embers, is a collection of what they call meditations. So just things to think about. And oh, this one is nice. Keep what's true in front of you. I like that. That's really nice. So yeah, like I'd said, this is my first stream, my first opportunity to be out there in the world and share my thoughts. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to to be here. Oh, here's the cat coming. He wants to say hello. You might catch a glimpse of his tail. Here he comes, Mr. Cheeto, the sweetie cat. The sweetie cat. Oh, I'm just gonna take a minute, take a deep breath. I'm feeling my energy is kind of like frantic. I'm, maybe a little bit nervous, I would say, and so I'm just gonna take a few deep breaths. You can do one with me. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Yeah, there we go. Have some coffee. I'm really into music too. My Spotify minutes this year were something like 150,000, 155,000. So maybe I think it worked out to be like 8 hours a day. And so if I'm awake, I'm listening to music. So even it feels kind of strange to be sitting here talking with you and not have any background noise. Because usually I do have music playing. I usually do. Yeah, what comes to mind is just like, spirituality and mental health. My senior project in university, I studied Indigenous studies and psychology. I did a double major, and it took me about 5 years to finish. And I forgot what I was saying. Oh, it'll come back. Just gotta wait a sec. Just gotta wait a sec. What was I saying? Oh no. Okay, on to the next thought. Oh, I now remember. So in my final year of university, I had to give a presentation. And it was on the how the psychology field is rooted in colonialism. And so I did classes in the history of psychology and philosophy, and like psychology. The field of psychology is based on major philosophical thinkers, and they were the ones to start this stream of psychology. And my beliefs is that those major thinkers like Rene Descartes uh, are, and Rene Descartes' main thinker or main message to me is the separation of mind and body. And, you know, in my studies, I really realized that there's just so much focus on the thinking brain, the cognition, and there's the separation from being in the feeling body. And so, you know, through one's life experiencing trauma or anything like that, you know, there's this really, we can learn to disassociate. And so that's like living outside of our body. And so my journey right now is really to come back into my body and say, you know, this body is safe. It is safe to be in my body. Yeah, and you know, I actually really enjoyed giving that presentation because I used my personal experience um, and what I had learned in university to deliver what I was passionate about. And here I thought I wanted to be a counselor. That's why I went to university, and because I had found my place. I had found myself in a place where I felt like professionals couldn't really understand what I was going through. They didn't, I couldn't relate to them about my mental health. I felt like I couldn't be honest with them about what I was sharing, what I was experiencing. So I decided that I would go to university so I could be a professional that understands, or I could be a professional that someone can relate to, because I have lived experience of the mental health system. And I've struggled with my own addictions as well. Um, yeah. I feel like I'm a rambling woman right now, but that's okay. What? The cat is, oh my goodness. They find the silliest places to curl up. He's in my books and my tarot cards right now. Seems like it's a comfy place for him, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna color this moth. I'm using navy blue. It almost is so blue it's black. No, I haven't colored in a long time. I wonder, I'm gonna rip this page out so it's easier to show you. So that's what it looks like. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. My spiritual journey and my mental health journey are kind of interrelated. I grew up in a religious household. I was forced to go to church every Sunday. And when I moved out, I kind of decided to, I set on a different path. You know, I learned about Reiki and energy, and that's something that resonated with me a little bit more. And it's kind of like learning a new language, learning about Reiki and spirituality. But it was once I started learning more about it, it became something that I really resonated with, and the different chakras and energy systems in our body. So we can start. I got this little book, and I'm just going to go to a page here and see. Okay, so these are the 7 energy centers in our body. Start at the bottom, which is the root chakra, and it has to do with our stability, sense of security, our house, our safety. Yeah, and then we move up to our sacral chakra, and that is for where our creativity and our sensuality comes from. And then we move up into the solar plexus. So that's where our personal fire comes from. And if I did a course and we listened to a fire crackle. And if you ever want to like maybe ignite something within yourself, just listen to a fire go and the crackles that it makes and the sounds that it makes. And then we move up into our heart chakra, and that has to do with giving and receiving love. So our heart center can be out of alignment if we're not open to receiving love. There's this motion, like this motion. So we give love and we also receive love. Yeah. Okay, and then we have our throat chakra, and that is kind of also self-expression, using our voice, or it can be out of alignment if we choke back our words and don't express ourselves. And then we have the third eye chakra, and then the crown chakra. And so the crown is where we receive information from the spiritual realm. And I think our third eye here is to do with our intuition. See, I'm still learning. I'm a lifelong learner, always learning. But these are just some of the things that I'm interested in. Learning about different energy centers. And, it's really interesting if you look at, okay, disruption in the root chakra can feel like not feeling safe. Disruption in your sacral chakra can feel like you don't really have creative energy. You're stumped. You don't have interest in doing things. That could be your sacral chakra. And then your solar plexus is your personal fire, your what makes you feel come alive and gives you energy and that kind of thing. So, if you're not feeling maybe motivated or something like that, there could be a disruption in your solar plexus. And in your heart, I know, heartbreak, feeling lonely or feeling like your cup isn't really full, that's really hard too. And so that our heart can be out of alignment, and where I've noticed in my life misalignment in my heart chakra is giving too much, as if I have to somehow prove my worth to another person by giving them more. And I'm a hand talker, so I want to be able for people to see my hands too. Yeah, and misalignment in the throat chakra can be, choking back your words or not fully expressing yourself when you want to. And sometimes when I feel like I want to say something but I don't really know how to say it, I sing. I like singing. I usually sing in the shower or just to myself. I've slowly started branching out to karaoke. That terrifies me. but I really want to feel confident singing in front of people. And I did in university in my Indigenous studies classes. I started out every morning singing for my class, and it felt good. So maybe it just depends on the people who I'm surrounded by. But maybe one of these days I'll sing for you all. We'll see. See if I can muster up the courage to do that. Yeah. So if there's anyone that has questions, we can do a Q&A. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. And then maybe I can answer some questions that people have just about, spirituality and mental health. That's something that I'm passionate about. Um, and and something that I can find is tricky to talk about with other people. Not everyone is open to discussing the big questions about, what is life? What are we here for? What does this mean? And so I'm kind of like the auntie that you always wanted. We can talk about anything. So we can comment in the chat if you have any questions or anything you want me to touch on. I know we got a few people watching here right now, and I just want to say hi. Thanks for joining. My name is Rochelle, and I'm here with Healthy Aligned Living. And yeah, I'm just feeling really honored to share this sacred space with you and share this time together. I was just slowly working on my coloring picture. We pulled some cards, some tarot cards, and the message we got Queen of Wands, which talks about prosperity. We got the Knight of Cups, which talks about communication or moving forward, travel, something, anything like that. And then we got the final card was the World, so completion. And yeah, it was nice. I'm just starting out reading tarot. It's something that I've been interested in for some time. I think I got maybe my first deck of cards like 8 years ago from someone very dear to my heart. These are the cards that I like to use, the Modern Witch Tarot. They're based off the Rider-Waite-Smith cards, but a modern version. So some of the symbols are the same, but they're also a little bit different. And so, yeah, I'm trying to think of what I should do next. I've got books here I can read. I got this one, The Wild Edge of Sorrow, which is Rituals of Renewal and the Sacred Work of Grief. And so I really am interested in trauma recovery and how we learn to live and love life again after heartbreak and hardship. And that's one of the things that I am really interested in. I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm still here. I still have hope for a life for me that is full of abundance and ease. That's one of the things that I kind of pray for is just ease. I can handle things. I can go with the flow. I can, but it's just my two biggest triggers or the two things that I struggle with. Like if I lose my sleep, that is really hard for me to function and be well on no sleep. And if I am under a lot of stress, I have a hard time functioning as well. And so I'm trying, I'm trying to eliminate stress in my life. And I don't know, I think I heard this TED talk about it's like a little bit of stress is healthy. It motivates us and it gets us going. It gets us to get our assignments done in university. The little bit of stress gets us to go finish our work tasks or, that kind of thing. But too much stress, I don't think is healthy. And so I've gone as far as like when I'm driving along, I change lanes way, 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 way ahead of time, just so I'm never put in a position where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that lane. I need to go into that lot right there, you know? So I change lanes ahead of time. I'm it's maybe it can be a little bit OCD. Also, is I'm very early for appointments, usually 10 to 15 minutes early, and I'll sit in my car for 5 minutes or, but I just feel like I need to arrive sooner because I hate being rushed. I hate being rushed. It gives me a lot of anxiety. So, a way that I'm trying to manage things is reduce my stress, reduce my anxiety, so I can just cruise along and be just fine. So far it's helping, but obviously you can't, life happens and you can't eliminate stress 100%. So I'm just trying to find different ways to cope and work on my mental health. So feel free to comment if you have any tips or tricks for me and the wider community. Um, for yeah, what do you do for your mental health? What do you do to take care of you? What do you do for yourself on the hard days? One of the things that comes to mind for me is um, when I don't know what to do, I ask myself, okay, what's the next best thing that I can do to be well? What's the next best thing that I can do to feel comfortable? And sometimes it's as simple as going to the bathroom, or sometimes it's just getting a snack, or putting away dishes, or starting laundry, or and so my dad always says, something in motion stays in motion. So once you take the first step, once you do something to initiate it, then things will snowball after that. And I really, I'm thinking a lot about manifesting and creating the life that you want and all this stuff. And it's like, it's hard because you also need to put in the effort. You also need to take action. You also need to go after the things that you want. And I feel like it's kind of goes along with what my dad said. Once you take action, once you take the initial step, things will snowball, things will start working out. And so maybe that's something that people can take away is just take the first step. It doesn't have to be a big leap. It doesn't have to be a big wide jump. It can just be a baby step. And yeah. Sorry, I just need to pause for a quick drink here. Thank you. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. This has been really awesome. I'm going to stay on live for probably another few minutes. See if there's anyone who wants to comment or has a question for me. I'm an open book, really. I got nothing to hide. Um I wear my heart on my sleeve pretty much, and I do my best always to be kind and gentle to others. And I remember when I was younger, because everyone goes through periods of, getting kind of caught up in gossip, or like he said, she said, or sometimes we find ourselves in situations that we wouldn't choose, or we wouldn't feel comfortable in. And oh, I was really onto something there, and now I forgot. Ah, let's see if it comes back. Maybe it'll come back. When sometimes my thoughts, I'll be like on a really good train, and then it's just like derails, and it really is annoying. It really is, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Let's see what I was talking about. So I was talking about things in motion, staying in motion, and getting caught up in gossip. Oh, now I remember. What people say about you is none of your business. And if you are living in a way that you are proud of, let people talk. Let them. If you are living in a way that you makes you feel good and you're happy with your choices and the things that you are are advocating for and making decisions based on, If you feel proud of that, then people and also the people that know you won't believe what people are saying about you. They'll just let them talk. And we can't control what people say about us, but if we are living a life that we're proud of and that makes us feel well, then there's nothing to be ashamed of. And also too, I really am trying not to shame people for decisions and stuff that they make, because we never know where someone's coming from. We never know the reasons why people make the choices that they do. And so my work is to meet people with compassion and meet myself with compassion, because there's also things that I've said and done that don't feel like they align with what I'm here on this earth to do. So one of the things I studied in university was self-compassion and its relationship with attachment style and mental health. So what the study shows, or what we learned from the research that I did, was the way our caregivers speak to us, especially when we're younger and developing. So especially as we're children, the way they talk to us is how we learn to talk to ourselves. So if we grew up with somebody who was condescending or didn't treat us very well, then we innately would learn how to treat ourselves that way. So in the internal dialogue in our brain might be more negative, or we might be harder on ourselves. Those with secure attachment and healthy relationships with their caregivers have maybe better skills and are better skills in how they talk to themselves, and their internal dialogue might be a bit more gentle. Because if you have someone saying, oh, so let's just use me for example. Let's say my caregiver was said, it's okay, Rochelle, mistakes happen. Don't be too hard on yourself, and saying, using that tone and just, being really compassionate with me. In my moments of, I might say, it's okay, Rochelle, you did your best. You tried your hardest. Next time we'll do this, this, and this. So it's a little bit softer, where as opposed to someone who has a caregiver that's hard on them, oh, you're just an idiot, why'd you do that, don't you know any better. When we're talking to ourselves, that might be a part of our internal dialogue too. So it's one thing to really look at how our caregivers talk to us, and that might give us a little bit of information on how we learned to talk to ourselves. And so I think, talking about like spirituality and mental health, the one thing I love about the brain is that it is, so in psychology, it's called neuroplasticity. So the ability of the brain to adapt. And so we can always learn new skills. We can always learn new ways of doing things. And just because we maybe had a harder upbringing, or we weren't, given the life skills that we would want to, doesn't mean that it's too late. We can always, always, always learn new skills and abilities. Yeah, I think that feels good. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, is the owner lazy? That's what I have to say. Because I think you can always learn. You can always learn new things. And I think it's just the attitude that we have. I've committed myself to lifelong living. Lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. Right now I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do a master's. So I have an undergraduate degree, I have a certificate, 2 certificates, and I'm thinking a master's, but it's really hard. Like, I don't know, academia is a whole other ball game, and just like I don't know if I want to be in such a, I don't know, an atmosphere that doesn't feel as welcoming or inviting, but we can change, one of my goals is to have an influence on how people view academia. But I always say school will always be there. Everything is written down a million times. So maybe if now it doesn't feel like the right time for me to do a master's, maybe when I grow up, maybe when I'm a bit older, I'll uh I'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna be going live tonight at 6 p.m. Yeah, around 6 p.m. Mountain time, and we can continue on the conversation. If there's any questions that people have, that any burning questions that you have for your auntie. So I don't have any kids. I don't think that for me that's something that's really a part of my journey. Maybe one day, but for right now, I'm happy. And but I really love being an auntie. I love my nieces and nephews, and and they give me purpose. They give me, I call them my reason for living. My nieces and nephews, they're my reason for living. When yeah, when sometimes, you know sometimes when times get tough, you just kind of wonder, okay, what am I doing here? And you find things outside of yourself that give you hope. And so I think it's also good to find things outside of yourself to give you hope, but also find things within yourself to give you hope too. Live for you. Live for you first. Live for others too if you need. Get strength from others too. Yeah, I like that. I'm also learning Gaelic right now on Duolingo. I'm Irish, Scottish, French, Belgian, a lot of European mixes in my bloodline. I also, one of my ancestors came from France, and he married a woman from the Nipissing First Nation, and they had a child together. But he didn't stay in the community and raise the child. He took the child and moved away. And so I'm a descendant from that child. And this was in the 1600s or so. And so quite a while, quite a while back. But I've been really trying to work on my identity and who am I? Who are my people? Where do I come from? All these questions that are so good to ask. They're so good to ask. It's like, who am I? Who am I? And I've been thinking about learning a language other than English. And so what other better language to learn than the language of my ancestors. So I am thrilled and it's fun. I was I could do a little like Duolingo. We can do my Duolingo together maybe sometime. And yeah, we can learn some Gaelic. Gaelic. So I'm learning how to order coffee and tea at a restaurant, how to say please and thank you, hello and goodbye, simple kinds of questions like that. My goal is to be fluent, and I don't know how to word this, but I've been thinking a lot about how Ireland was colonized, um, and the St. Patrick's Day, the celebration of St. Patrick's Day, and those are my ancestors. Those are my my people. And um, we have letters from the potato famine, and it's hard, to sit there and think about all the hard things that have happened in the past. And for those that follow Healthy Aligned Living on Facebook, Instagram, um, they posted a video that I had made on 10 things I would say to my younger self. And so, yeah. Oh, here we go. We lost the train of thought again. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I think my brain's just is like going fast, too fast for my mouth to keep up. I'm like thinking of things. Okay, I'm thinking about what I need to say next and thinking about what I'm actually saying, which is a lot for my brain to do. You know, the past 8 months, I've kept my life pretty simple, really focusing on the basics, just that rest, eat, sleep, repeat, and really only talking to close family and friends. And this time has been really sacred to me because it has really, instead of me always like projecting my energy and focusing my energy on the outside world, I've really shifted and turned on and focused more on the inside. Shifted my energy towards focusing on me. And it has illuminated a few things, I would say. Illuminated. Yeah. That's another one of my words are prosperity, clarity, courage, um, and maybe now illuminating. I like that word. These are just like, I don't know, to guide me in my day, to guide me in my life. I use like numbers and keywords. And so I'm always looking for number sequences that add up to 8. I'm always looking for my words like courage, prosperity, clarity, possibilities. And that's just like whenever I come across those words, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm good, you know? And I think too, everyone's everyone's relationship with the spiritual realm, I will say. I'm not gonna use specific words, because of my own uh life story. And I like to use kind of more neutral words like the universe or creator or spirit or um yeah, so like a little more universal, but use take whatever feels good from this. um but if there's words that help you understand or it fits better in your life, then that's okay too. If saying God uh fits better, then use that. I just, for my own personal, I use, yeah, creator or spirit or the universe. It's that's the language that I use. um yeah, I don't really know if I have much more to say for right now. I'm gonna be, like I said, joining again around 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and I'll maybe do a little meditation or sing a song, read another passage from some of my books, or also I'll finish coloring this page that I started. I only did these two things up here while we've been talking. Um, I like to say I can multitask, but um, sometimes I just focus on one thing. So, yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to call it good. And I wish you all the best today. You are important. Your energy is needed on this earth. And I hope that there's some things that happen today that really spark joy in you. And yeah. That's one thing my family and friends will know is that it takes me forever to say goodbye. If we're on the phone, it'll be like, okay, love you. Okay, take care. Yeah, you too. You have a good day. Okay, see you later. and it takes a long time. So here I am, a 5 minute goodbye, and we'll talk later. Okay, take care, everyone. See you soon.